What is happening, everybody, and welcome back to episode 5 of Pokemon Glazed on the Hive. Maybe the last episode, maybe not, but we are at the first final four of the game. On my far left, I've got Spooks.
Wagwan, me people, as always.
Next to him, I've got Ace,
Hello.
and close to me on the left, I've got Rushy.
Hello. I'm not
Hello,
getting outdone.
darling.
I'm not getting outdone this time, like last time.
Toodles!
Oh,
So yeah, boys. Basically, regardless of what conversations happen where we're going afterwards, we've finished the main part of the game. How does everybody feel about it? What's the thoughts and feelings? Have we all enjoyed this one? I know personally, I definitely have. What a game this has been.
Yeah, this has been a naughty game.
It's just been crisp, and do you know what I mean? That's when you get back from work and you crack open a cold beer and you just get that snap. Do you know what I mean? That just soothes everything you're looking for in a Pokemon game.
Yep.
Definitely, trust me, that Blanc. Trust me, those roses. Do you know what I mean? Shout out to the Cronenberg Blancs and roses. If you know, you know, and if you don't, get to know, man. But yeah, no, I've had a great time. I think this is, well, it definitely is my favourite game that we've played so far. Obviously, Lazarus will always have a special place because it was the first series, but, you know, content-wise, you know, the story, the characters, you know, everything about it has just been amazing. But, yeah, I think it's definitely my favourite so far. Cuz, what do you think about Glazed?
Oh, man, it's been, do you know what I mean? That honey glazed pork. That's all I can say. It is like tasting a bit of honey glazed pork in your mouth. It's just melting in your mouth. You've got the milkshakes from. You've got Choco Town. Do you know what I mean? It's melting away. But I think it's great. It's one of those ones where we were saying last time with like Emerald Sea Glass. Big up Nemo, big up them, big up Miss and No for putting us all on it. But I think this one, like we've all said, like it is just Emerald in it at the end of the day with that. But this was just something to bring it back, give us that feeling of Lazarus, and yeah, basically just going from there. It's been an awesome time, and we all know for a certain that there is a lot of backstory going on with this game as well, and it leads into extra parts of the game. So this could be the last episode, or it couldn't. I don't personally, I don't really want it to end, but it's so good that we've got everything going on. So yeah, Rushy, how do you feel about Glaze, bro?
yeah. To be fair, I think you guys have kind of summed it up perfectly. It's been a real fun experience. I've thoroughly enjoyed it. There's just so much to do in this game. You know, even without the sort of quests and things like that. That NPCs can give you. There's just the story seems to have flowed really well. With you know, everything makes sense. It's been a real fun time, and I'm sad that we're coming towards the end of it. But as you say, there's still plenty more to do if we want to. But yeah, it's been a real fun one. And talking of it being fun, we've got some fun spin wheels, I think, for this last episode as well. So why don't we go into those? Spooks, what did you spin for this week?
I got steel worker, so I must add a steel type permanently to my team. Obviously, we all know what happened with my little bad egg. Had that Grooval on the team, and unfortunately, he turned into a bad egg. So obviously, he was just not meant to be. So I was going to do a Rushy and put like a mythical legendary on the team. See that Genesect there, but it's not. So we went all the way back until we saw that rocky item that girl gave us in, I think it was like episode 1. So obviously it was on Onyx. We evolved it into a Steelix. So Don Stiffy is on the team. So Ace, what did you get again, bro?
Yeah, so I just want to quickly say this is the first episode that Rushy's ever had his camera on.
Yeah, is this the face reveal? Is this the face reveal?
That bathroom ceiling.
I was just seeing that bath, those tiles on the wall there, isn't it?
He did the bath.
I didn't realise it was on.
Yeah, that's going in, isn't it?
No.
But yeah, I got screen cleaner this episode, which is you can't set up screens, i.e. reflect and light screen. But I didn't really have any screen setters on my team anyway, so this is basically a free run for me. I did have someone that could have learned screens, maybe a little psychic type that will be revealed, that finally filled that elusive sixth spot on my team. We were chopping and changing, but yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that in a little bit, and there's probably going to be some controversy here. I can't lie, innit? But yeah, so screen cleaner for me. Rushy, what did you pick up, brother?
I got a return of a fan favourite, or one of Ace's, not one of his favourites. I got the Klutz, so no items for me.
Yeah, nice. That don't sound good on the last battle, bro. If that was me when we was doing sea glass, I'd be fucked. You know what I mean?
Your
No
mic's
full
so good,
restores
it
or
just picked that up,
rare
bro.
can. Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh god.
Yeah, Mac, what did you get again?
I'll be honest, I never actually took note of the name of it because you just told me that to play the game as normal, nothing was going to change, so I just cracked on with that.
I don't know if you got like neutralizing gas or
I
something
think it
like
was
that.
yeah.
Yeah,
That will be in anyway. You guys will see it.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. So boys, what crack into that dark wood again after leaving
Yeah.
and everything?
Yeah, let's get
So
into that
obviously,
dark wood.
so that's what we should have called Stiffy, because after Darkwood Town Gym, we went to go back and get that Onyx, and I went all the way back, right? Because I thought, oh, I didn't get it, but then obviously I checked my box, and Onyx was in there, so Stiffy is on the team. You know, we can now use like waterfall to get up to like other bits and bobs, and yeah, I mean, basically, that's kind of it for Darkwood. Is it Sophiel or someone like that who we go to Sophiel?
Yeah, you can go there.
You can to go there. So yeah, I actually went there, met Sophiel there. They're like another Elite Four from a different place. So we battled him. He asked us if we'd like going to the league and stuff, blah 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 blah. Defeated him, and he gives us a gift, and that gift is Victini. So from him, you know, you can go to what I guessed is all them little random islands on the map. They're actually drop like legendaries or give you certain Pokemon that are gifts in the game. So did anyone else do that or?
Yeah,
No.
I did that, yeah.
I didn't do that one.
Yeah, I just didn't notice because obviously we got surf pretty late on, so I just went for a little adventure, and yeah, I got there and that was it. So I guess we've got to go into Victory Road now. Oh. And what a stress this was. Rushy, do you want to tell the people about Victory Road?
Yeah, so obviously we head into Victory Road from Darkwood Town, so we use the waterfall to get there. And this is quite a long Victory Road. I don't know what you guys thought about it. There was a lot going on.
Yeah.
The main sort of bulk of it comes a bit later on. But first of all, we do run into Shell, who's been popping up a few times throughout our playthrough. And we battle Shell and we beat Shell. And then you kind of carry on until you meet Michael. So Michael makes a little return, and he basically confirms what we were told in the previous episode, that he has given up, and he's gonna go travel the world, and he gives you his CEO key, which obviously lets us finally get up to the top floor of Fusion Co. So he blocks off the path. So you go up to the Fusion Co, go to the top floor, and there he is one final time. The pesky little yellow rat. Pikachu is there, but he's all right this time. He's quite nice. He does say that he wants to fight you one more time just to see, you know, what's going on, and so you do fight him. And after that, he says that he's had a whole change of outlook. His outlook on life has changed. Doesn't hate you anymore, and he actually wants to join your team. So Pikachu goes to the box, not to be put onto the team because I don't know about you guys, but I didn't want him. He's given us enough annoyance throughout the rest of this game.
Yeah.
So Pikachu goes to the box, and then you make your way through. Basically, it's just a giant cave. I don't think it is actually Mount Stratus, is it? But it's almost like that interior, and it's a multi-layered cave where you have to use the ladders to get up and down, and you have to use everything you've learned. You know, strength, rock smash, waterfall. There is a bit where you can dive as well. All sorts going on in there. But you make your way through, and you finally then end up at the Elite Four and Champion battle, ready to take on and become the champion of the Tunod region. So, if Has anybody got anything else to add for Victory Road?
I mean, the only thing I got, you actually find the game creator here, and you chat to him, you have a little battle with him, and he gives you a little quill lava. So if we do some poo poo in the next episode, after all of this, then I think that I might put quill lava on the team. So that would be a nice little addition to the team. But apart from that, you find Drain Punch on Victory Road, and I think that was one of the many TMs that I only did find.
Yeah, to be fair, Earthquake was here as well.
Yeah,
I noted that down.
Yeah, and as I said, when we get to the Pokemon League, we heal up, and is it Kato? Yeah, they challenge us and to a battle just to make sure that we're ready for the Elite Four. And obviously we beat him and we pass on. So if anyone else has got anything to say, we can head straight into that first Elite Four battle.
Let's do it.
And you'll like the champion battle I've got, guys, honestly. So, right, going into number 1 of the Elite Four. Forgot the Rosaline. She goes out with a Licky. We go out with Bruce Lade, use that Sacred Sword, take it down to 1 HP. It's going to go for the Curse. We're going to go for the Sacred Sword again because I knew she'd use a full Restore. Get it down, but only to orange HP this time. She switches out and goes for the Sylveon. Use Sacred Sword again, hit that crit, so it's not very effective because obviously she's Fairy type. So we switch out for Barry, drop the attack for the Sylveon. It uses Wish. We go with the Crunch, and we've crunched Sylveon to pieces, and that's down. Licky comes back out again. Licky. He comes back out again. We go for Bruce Lade again. I reckon we're going to hit that Secret Sword, but Sylveon's Wish healed up Licky here. And so the Licky has gone down. I don't know how many times they're going to be saying that. It comes out with the Milotic now. We switch back out to Barry. Milotic, I hate this Pokemon to pieces. We go for the Thunder Fang, we miss. Goes for the Hypnosis. I'm thinking shh. It goes for the Surf, takes a bit down, takes another bit down. We're on 5 HP. Barry's still asleep. Another Surf takes it out. So who are we going to go for here? I'm humming and hawing. We're hovering over Bruce Lade, so here he is. Go for the Zen Headbutt. It hits us with a Surf first. Use a Hypnosis on us. And we're now asleep. Goes for the Surf. Still asleep. Goes for another Surf. We're on 4 HP. And then it uses an Ice Beam and takes us out. We are out. So we switch up with Alduin now. We go for the Fly. Milotic uses Recover. So I think this is where it's going to be like a recovery battle. Uses an Ice Beam on us. Takes us all the way down to 29. Goes for another Ice Beam. Milotic is down. Then it comes out with the Blissey now. So I know Blissy's just got a tank of health. If I wasn't doing this in speed up, it would have been a long time. But we use one Fly against the Blissey and it takes it out. So I'm quite surprised about that. We go for another Fly, and Fly is just doing all these moves. Slowking up, uses a Surf on us. We're on 29, it takes us down to 7. We hit it with the other Fly, and Alduin was just flying everywhere.
So going into my battle with Rosaline, the pink Elite Four member. So Rosaline is going to be leading with the Licky, and I'm going to be leading with Morwhile, hitting that Intimidate as soon as I come out, and also going for a Sword Stance here. So +2 attack. Licky hits the Curse, but I'm going to hit one more Sword Stance, so I'm at +4, and they're going for another Curse. So their defense is +2 versus my +4 attack. Licky goes for a big Earthquake there, but one more Iron Head is going to take out the Licky. Out comes Slowking now, another pink Pokemon, and I'm going to go for that Rock Slide, but it does miss. So unfortunately here, Morwhile with +4 attack does go down to the Flamethrower by Slowking. We're going to bring out Sceptile here, and you know me, baby. I'm going to hit that Sword Stance, I'm running a physical Sceptile this time. I usually run a special one, but one Leaf Blade is going to take out the Slowking there. My Lotic comes in next, and I'm going to hit a Leaf Blade straight away. Go straight down, baby. Sceptile's getting all that XP, just gobbling that up. Here comes the Blissey now. What can we do with another Leaf Blade? Is it going to take it out? Yeah, it is. The highly defensive Pokemon, Blissey, gets taken out by one Leaf Blade by a +2 Sceptile. Sylveon to finish off here, and taking that down with another Leaf Blade, and that is Rosaline down. So, Rushy, how did you get on, bro?
Yeah, not too bad. We'll go straight in. To Rosaline. So Rosaline leads with Licky Licky. Obviously, I lead with my Emboar. I go for a Brick Break here to start off. Takes Licky Licky right down to, not much HP left, and the speed and attack of the Licky Licky fall as well. Rosaline uses a full restore straight off the bat to get that Licky Licky all the way back up. So I go for another Brick Break, which does about half health this time. And then Licky Licky is withdrawn and Slowking comes out. So the Brick Break goes off on the Slowking. Obviously not a great matchup here for Emboar, so I switch out into my Torterra. So Torterra comes in, Slowking does use Surf, which does quite a lot of damage actually. So I go for the Wood Hammer with Torterra, super effective, takes him out. Obviously does a little bit of damage to the Torterra as well. Milotic is coming in next. I stay out with Torterra, thinking this is a good matchup here. Go for that Razor Leaf. The Torterra does, the Milotic does use Surf over and takes the Torterra out. So I come in with Haxorus. Haxorus, what a beast of a Pokemon. Intimidate cuts the Milotic's attack. Dragon Claw comes off on the Milotic, takes it down to about half health, but the Milotic uses Ice Beam, takes the Haxorus down to about 20 HP. One more Dragon Claw, however, does take Milotic out. So next up, Haxorus is trying to learn Swords Dance here, but I don't teach it to Haxorus. The Blissey is in next, so I'm going to switch out into Emboar. So Emboar comes back in against Blissey here. I go for the Brick Break on Blissey, and it takes it all the way down. Super effective, one shot on the Blissey, and Blissey is out. So Licky Licky is back in. So Licky Licky's on about half health still. I go for a Brick Break on the Licky Licky, and that takes it out as well. So Emboar's doing bits here for me. Sylveon is last up, so I stay in with Emboar. Emboar is absolutely smashing this up. Go for the Brick Break, doesn't do too much. The Sylveon uses Wish. I go for a Flamethrower on the Sylveon here, which again doesn't do too much. Sylveon tries to use Wish, but it does fail, but then the Wish does come true and the Sylveon gets some health back. So I go for another Flamethrower, and the Sylveon uses Moonblast, which takes the Emboar down to about half health. So I go for another Brick Break here. Another Moonblast, however, does come through and takes out Emboar. So I come in, and I'm going to switch into my Swampert here. So Swampert comes in, goes for the Dig, I believe, here. Yep, Dig, but the Sylveon makes a Wish, but the Dig goes off. The Wish fails, Swampert uses Dig, takes out the Sylveon, and that is the gym battle done. So, Mac, how did you get on?
Yeah, not too bad. So obviously, shocked at Licky Licky. He's being chucked about here, but obviously they lead with the Licky Licky. I come in with the Electivire. Hit it with a low kick, which is super effective. They use a curse. One more low kick gets the Licky Licky out of the way. Next in is the Milotic, and I'm gonna keep out Electivire. Hit it with a Thunder Punch, which gets it pretty weak. They go for a Hypnosis, which misses. Hit it with one more Thunder Punch, and that is the second one down. Next, Slowking is coming in, so I swap to Roserade. Hit Slowking with a Giga Drain, gets it to about half health. They go for a Calm Mind. I hit it with one more Giga Drain, and that is Slowking gone. Blissy's coming in next, so I'm going to swap back to Electivire to get that fighting type weakness on it. Hit it with a low kick, which gets it right down into the red of his health. They go for a Calm Mind and also have the leftovers. I go for another low kick, but they get the full restore off in time. So the low kick gets it nice and weak again. Get one more low kick off, and that is Blissey gone. Then the last one in is Sylveon. So I swap back to Roserade, hit it with a Sludge Bomb, which is gets the poison onto it and gets it pretty low on health. They use a Wish, which fails. They're hurt by the poison. I hit one more Sludge Bomb, and Sylveon is gone, and that is the first trainer done. So
Nice.
on to the
Very
second
smooth.
swoops.
On to the second one, and talking about that second one, it's Don Magnus. So if we go into Magnus right now, he sends out the Arbok. We go out with Mud Lips. Wow, look at Mud Lips. Always got some mud on those lips. Mud Lips uses Earthquake, gets the Arbok down to half health. We use another Earthquake there. It's on 1 HP now. Obviously, Magnus is going to use the full restore. That's what I would do. And we go for the Earthquake again. Hits Earthquake on us. Earthquake again. It's Earthquake for Earthquake now, baby. Who's got the strongest one? Obviously, Mud Lips does. Then they're going to go in for the Goodra. So we're going to go in for Alduin on this one. I want to see what this Dragon versus Dragon can do. We're going to hit the Fly. They go for the Dragon Pulse. Fly hits half. The Dragon Pulse hits us. And we're on just under half. But these is where the leftovers start coming in. Excuse me. Leftovers are hitting, but our Fly hits harder. So that is Goodra down. Gliscor is out. Oh, now Morbius. What a mon that is, man. I absolutely had fun using that for the first time. We go for the Surf, but obviously it's quicker than us. Takes us out. Don Stiffy. First time we're seeing Stiffy right now. So he is out, and we're just going to use him to heal up Mud Lips with that full restore. It uses Earthquake on us. Super effective, but we're still in the green. So what we're going to do, we're going to go for the Iron Head. But it hits a crit on us with the other Earthquake, and Stiffy is down. Just kind of like a little slave right there. We use a Waterfall on the Gliscor. Uses an Earthquake on us. Waterfall hits, obviously super effective. This has got leftovers as well. Another Earthquake, another Waterfall. Gliscor is down. Mian Shao is coming out now. So who are we going to go for? We're going to go for Bruce Lade, and we want to see if we're a bit faster, if we can hit it. So we're going to go for that Zen Headbutt, but it uses an Aero Lace and brings us down to red. Now I'm praying that the Zen Headbutt does something, and it does, because it takes it out. And now, my whole screen has gone dark. I don't know what just happened there. My screen went dark. And basically, Magnus is still saying he'd like to battle. We go in for the Drapion. I'm just going to have to go in there. Go in for the Drapion. We send out Barry. We use Rock Climb. I don't know what happened there, people. Sorry, my whole screen just went black. It uses a Crunch on us. Takes us out. We'll go back in for Bruce Lade, who's on red. Zen Headbutt. But the Drapion's confused. Obviously doesn't affect. Didn't realise that. So we're going to go for the Reflect, because I know it would heal up right now. And then we are going to use a full restore, because we're only on Mud Lips and everything. So I probably missed out on there, so I do apologise. That was some technical difficulties on my part. My whole screen went black. So we go out for Mud Lips, use the Earthquake, and gets Drapion down to red. And yeah, another Earthquake, and Drapion is down, and Magnus is out. I definitely missed a mon there, so I do apologise. My dongle came loose. Who did we miss? Oh, no, I didn't. Drapion. It was just Drapion. So at that point, he just took out Kurama and Barry. So, yeah, I do apologise. Ace, how did you get on?
Yeah, so we'll get into Magnus, the purple Elite Four member. Also happens to be my favourite colour. A little bit of knowledge for you guys there. But let's get into Magnus now. So he stood there with his big bad Drapion, and here we go. So Magnus leads with the Arbok, and I'm staying with Morwile to bring that Intimidate in turn 1. But Arbok does hit the Intimidate back, so I'm going to be switching out here into Empoleon straight up. Arbok goes for the bulk up, but I'm going to hit that. I'm just going to surf, baby. Because we're hitting for that special defense, even though Arbok is up 2 in defense, it doesn't matter. But a +2 attack Earthquake does take Empoleon down to probably about a quarter of his health. And here comes the problem. Don Morbius was haunting me this battle, so he comes in and takes out Empoleon straight away. And I'm thinking to myself, what am I actually going to do to deal with this? So Ment comes in and tries to hit the Intimidate, but Gliscor has Hypercutter and one-shot Salamence with an Ice Fang. Obviously that quad effective. It did also get a crit though, but I don't think that crit would have mattered. So let's bring out Sceptile, obviously still going to be 4 times weak to that Ice Fang. So it hits one and we get all the way down to 14, but there's the frozen hacks come in and Sceptile cannot do anything but watch Gliscor give it another Fang. So let's go into Morwile. Of course the Hypercutter is making Gliscor not take that Intimidate. Gliscor goes for an Earthquake and Morwile hits that Rock Slide and it's just not doing anything. This is so bulky, and another Earthquake from Gliscor is going to take out Morwile. So I've got 2 Pokemon left, but we never give up, baby, as Gliscor heals itself with the leftovers there. I come in to do what I should have done straight away, which is bring Victini in and hit that Will-O-Wisp to half Gliscor's attack, but we do get poisoned in the process. So Victini is now going to switch out into Scolipede because I'm seeing an opportunity here of where I can get a bit of setup with Scolipede's Speeds boost, and I've also got Iron Defense and Swords Dance. So we're going to hit that Iron Defense, and then our clock, it's got Roost. Excuse me, but we're going to go for another Iron Defense, so we're at +4 defense. Gliscor's burnt, so his attack is half. So we should be okay unless Gliscor hits a crit. I'll go for another Iron Defense here because I'm just seeing the opportunity to finish off this battle with a little bit of setup. So we're going for the Sword Stance now. So we're at +3 speed, +6 defense, and now +2 attack on Scolipede. And I go for that Poison Jab, and guess what? It crits but still doesn't take it out. As Gliscor goes for the Roost there, and it's obviously recovering with leftovers every turn, but the burn is negating that. We hit another Poison Jab and it just does barely anything. This Gliscor must have, I don't know if the creator's done EVs and IVs in this, but if they have, Gliscor must have max EV, IV in defense because this is ridiculous. Scolipede goes for one more Poison Jab as Gliscor goes for the Roost again. And I'm thinking to myself, am I actually going to get this over the line here? But I go for a Poison Jab and we get the crit. So Gliscor is down. And now, for the last 3 Mons, we are in the clear. So Goodra comes out, hit a Poison Jab, and it's down in 1. Mienshao comes out next, and I'm going to hit a Poison Jab, and the rest is history. Takes it out in 1. And finally, Drapion comes in here, and I hit that X-Scissor to get that super effectiveness on the Dark type, and it does take Drapion out. So, Rushy, how did you get on, brother?
Yeah, we'll go straight in. So obviously they lead with Arbok, I lead with Torterra here. The Intimidate does take my Torterra attack down, but I go for the Earthquake here on the Arbok, and it takes about half of his health. Magnus withdraws Arbok straight away and comes in with Gliscor, and yeah, this Gliscor is pretty mental. Obviously the Earthquake there doesn't affect Gliscor, so I come in with Swampert. The Gliscor uses Toxic. The Swampert does get poisoned. I then go for a Waterfall, but the Gliscor uses Earthquake. It takes a little bit of health away from Swampert there, but the Waterfall does do quite a lot of damage to Gliscor. The poison's still ticking away in the background. Magnus withdraws Gliscor and comes in with Goodra. I use the Surf, which doesn't do very much damage to Goodra at all, and it has that leftovers, so yeah, the Gudra is sitting nicely there. The Gudra goes for a Dragon Pulse. I went for a dig with the Swampert, but obviously the Dragon Pulse came in first. So Raticate comes in. Here he is, my boy. He's been with me since the start, and he's coming with me all the way to the end. Go for that Endeavour on the Raticate. The Gudra hits the Dragon Pulse, and then obviously the leftovers ticking away. I go for another Endeavour, which does a decent amount of damage there, but the Dragon Pulse does take out the Raticate. But he's done well. Torterra comes in next, and I go for an Earthquake, but the Gudra hits the Flamethrower on the Torterra, but doesn't take it out luckily, and the Earthquake does take down the Gudra. So Magnus comes in with Mienshao next. I am going to switch out here into Haxorus. So Haxorus comes in. Mienshao is also here now. Intimidate does take down Mienshao's attack, and I go into my bag here and use the Max Potion on the Torterra. So Torterra's back up. Aura Sphere from the Mienshao does about half health to Haxorus. I go for a Dragon Claw, but the high jump kick does come in, but it misses, and it crashes into the floor. Dragon Claw comes off, takes Mienshao down to 1 HP, but the full restore comes in. Mienshao is all the way back up. Dragon Claw again takes the Mienshao down quite low. The high jump kick does come in, but leaves the Haxorus on 5 HP. So I do manage to take out the Mienshao there. So very nice from Haxorus to survive that. Gliscor's back in, still on about half health. Obviously the leftovers tick it back up into the green. So I'm going back into my bag, and I'm going for a revive here. So Revival Herb onto the Swampert here, because I'm thinking I'm probably going to need it at some point. Haxorus comes and takes the Earthquake to the face, takes the Haxorus out. So Swampert comes back in. Yeah, the Swampert was much needed here because this Gliscor was causing me some trouble. Earthquake comes off from the Gliscor, Surf comes off onto the Gliscor there, takes Gliscor out. Thank you for that, Swampert. You've done your job very nicely. Arbok is in next, still on about half HP, but obviously the Intimidate comes off onto the Swampert. Earthquake, but I use a dig and get that straight away, but obviously the Earthquake comes through the dig, hits a crit, and does take Swampert out. So Torterra comes back in, goes for an Earthquake of its own. The Poison Jabs comes off onto the Torterra, and it does get poisoned, but the Earthquake does take Arbok out there. So Arbok is down. Torterra is staying in here when the Drapion comes in. So Drapion is last up. The Poison's still off on the Torterra. Poison Jab comes in and takes the Torterra down to fairly low, but the Earthquake hits off, takes Drapion down all the way to 1 HP. So Drapion is very, very nearly gone. I go for an Earthquake, but the full restore does come off onto the Drapion. Another Earthquake takes Drapion all the way back down to just 1 HP, but the Poison does take Torterra out. So Emboar and Magnezone left, going with the Magnezone. Earthquake comes off on Magnezone, does take it down, but he endures that hit, 1 HP, try attack on the Drapion, takes him out, and that is Magnus down. Mac, how did you get on?
I need everyone to stop what they're doing right now. I've just looked at the analytics and they're showing me that 91.7% of you guys aren't even subscribed. Do us all a favour, it takes 2 seconds of your time. Just hit that subscribe button to keep the content coming.
Lead with Gardevoir. I hit it with a Psychic, which drops the Arbok in one shot. Gliscor comes in next, so I'm going to bring in Greninja. And I'm going to use an Ice Beam, which gets rid of that in one shot as well. So moving quickly on to the third mon is the Mienshao. So I'm going to bring in Gardevoir again, hit the Psychic, but not before they can get off an Aerial Ace, which does about 50 HP, and then the Psychic one-shots Mienshao. Next in is Drapion, so I'm going to switch out to the pseudo-legendary on my team here, which is Garchomp. I'm going to hit that with Dig, and they go for the Swords Dance. While I'm in the Dig, they go for another Swords Dance, hit the Dig, which gets them down to about 25% HP. I go for another dig. They get off a crunch, which gets me down to 16 HP. Their crunch misses as I've used dig. Dig comes up, hits, and that is Drapion down. So moving into the Goodra, I keep Garchomp out here. I use a Dragon Claw, which luckily comes through as a crit. And with that super effective Dragon typing on it, that is Goodra fainted and the second of the Elite Four down.
Yeah, nice.
Very nice.
Nice. And we might as well get into Tanya. So, right. Oh, Tanya from the block with her own Alduin at her back. And I don't know what she's doing with that, but we know what we're going to do with her. And we're going to get right in. And she starts out with the Floatzel. We come out with Barry. And this is my second time doing this Elite Four. So we use the Thunder Fang. Super effective. Obviously, it uses a waterfall on us, gets that crit, and it takes us down to red, which was I didn't realize that was going to happen. So what we're going to do now, we're going to come out with Mudlips. She's coming out with her own Dragonite. It uses Dragon Claw on us. We go for the Ice Beam. Ice Beam gets Dragonite down all the way down to 1. So we're going to hit another Ice Beam because I knew she'd use a full restore here. Hit that Ice Beam, hopefully do some more damage, and it's got it down to like 4 now. So I don't understand what's going on. We're tanking another Dragon Claw. We do another Ice Beam. That is there. That is her Alduin down. Now that Glass Cannon's coming out. That Alakazam, that Mac with them 2 spoons, is here witnessing what we are going to do. So we use Don Stiffy is coming out. We're going to use him to get them 4 restores up, baby, because I'm not happy that Barry went down like that. It uses Substitute. Now, I hate Substitute. I think it was Whimsicott who used it last time with Leif. So, yeah, that killed us last time. So, yeah, it's doing some big damage on us. Uses the Shadow Ball. Takes Don Stiffy out. We're going to go in with Kurama now. It's nice to see Kurama get some action. We hit with that Nasty Plot. So we use Nasty Plot, obviously special attacks. Risen, we go for the Flamethrower because it's just using Grass Knot on us at the moment. So the substitute's gone now because we hit with that Flamethrower. We use Will-O-Wisp on the Alakazam. It burns. The Grass Knot again, not really effective. Flamethrower. Leftovers for the Alakazam. Flamethrower from us, but it uses the Grass Knot first. And with that Flamethrower, we take out the Alakazam. Now the Rotom C's coming out. So I knew this would happen. So we are going to hit it with that Flamethrower as the Nasty Plot is still up for us. Infernate comes out now. What I'm on. So we're going to go out with Alduin. Alduin's going to hit that fly, but it uses a jump kick on us, which is not very effective. Uses jump kick again, kept going, and it crashed. So now with that little bit of crash, we take it out with the fly. And that is Tanya done for me. So Ace, how did you get on?
Yeah, so let's get into my battle with Tanya, the orange Elite Four member now. So, as Spook said, there is Alduin at the back there, just waiting to cause havoc. But it's going to lead with Floatzel, and I'm coming out with Morwile. And that Intimidate, baby, just hitting that -1 attack on the opposition is just great every single time. I'm going to go for a Swords Dance as Floatzel goes for the Waterfall, and then I'm going to go for another Swords Dance and another Waterfall. And then we hit the Play Rough, which takes the Floatzel down. Dragonite is coming in here. Let's see if we can get it off, but we can't because Dragonite uses the Earthquake to take out Morwile before I even get a chance. But let's bring out a pseudo of our own. Ment comes out and hits that Dragon Claw, and it gets it all the way down into the red. But Dragonite has Ice Beam. What a great move for coverage for a Dragonite. And it does actually take out my Salamence. Here we find out Dragonite has leftovers. And here comes the full restore from Tanya, and Victini's going to hit that Psychic. It does about a third, but with that leftovers recovery, it's not going to do too much. We're going to hit a Will-O-Wisp, which is lucky because the next move was a super effective Earthquake from Dragonite. Great moveset on this thing, I was thinking at the time. We're going to go for a Thunderbolt, and Dragonite goes for another Earthquake. And one more Thunderbolt is going to take the Dragonite down with a crit. I've got a really cool moveset on this Victini. I was loving it. Here comes out the Rotom, and there goes that Will-O-Wisp once more. It's just such a great thing to have, just to be able to use turn 1. Victini's going to hit a crit Flamethrower. It's been hitting a few crits in this battle so far. So Alakazam, shout out Mac with those spoons, baby, is going to come out now, but it is too quick and hits a Psychic on Victini to take it out. So it's getting a little bit squeaky bum time here, but we're going to move on into Empoleon, and Empoleon is going to sit and hit that Surf, but Alakazam hits the Shadow Ball, and I do get the Spadef drop on Empoleon, so this next Shadow Ball is going to do a lot of damage, but Alakazam goes down to the second Surf, and here's something very, very scary. Here comes the Infernape. I can't remember who had Infernape before, but it is just insane. So Empoleon goes down, and I hit 2 Earth Powers with Sceptile, and it does take the Infernape out. So Rushy, let's move on to your battle, bro.
Yeah, let's go. So they lead with Floatzel, I lead with Torterra. I go for the Wood Hammer straight away, but the Ice Fang does hit from the Floatzel before the Wood Hammer goes off, but Wood Hammer does a lot of damage, takes out Floatzel in one hit. Obviously the recoil then hits in, so Torterra's down to 6 HP. Infernape is in next, so I come in with Swampert. Obviously the natural choice there, go for the Earthquake with the Swampert here, and do take the Infernape out in one hit. After though, Swampert takes a hit, so Swampert's down quite low as well. Alakazam is in next, so I'm going to switch out here into my Haxorus. Obviously this guy is an absolute beast with the Intimidate as well. So Alakazam is in, Intimidate cuts the Alakazam's attack, and the Dragon Claw comes off, but the Alakazam uses Substitute, but that's no match for the Dragon Claw. Takes the Substitute Doll out in one hit. Alakazam has obviously got the leftovers there. He goes for a Grass Knot, not very effective. Dragon Claw comes up on the Alakazam, takes Alakazam down and out. Dragonite is in next. Alduin, here he comes. I stay in with the Haxorus. Dragon Claw takes Alduin or Dragonite there down to 1 HP, but the Dragon Claw does come back, hits the Haxorus and takes him out. So Magnezone it is. Magnezone comes in, leftovers pop off on the Dragonite there. But the Thunderbolt is going to be in. But the full restore comes off first for the Dragonite there. Thunderbolt does, however, land. Does is about half health. The leftovers still popping around the background. Earthquake from the Dragonite there. Obviously, Magnezone does endure it because of its ability. Thunderbolt comes off, takes the Dragonite down to about 3rd HP left in the yellow. But I have to switch out here. So I go into my bag and I go for the Revival Herb on the... No, I don't. Yeah, I do, on the Haxorus to get Haxorus back in. Flamethrower comes off from Dragonite, takes out the Magnezone there, but Haxorus is going to come back in. Intimidate again on the Dragonite, so for round 2. And Dragon Claw comes out, takes the Dragonite down and out. It also hits a crit there, a bit overkill, but it does take him out. Rotom C is in next. Go for the Dragon Claw on the Rotom C, takes it down in one hit, hits a crit as well. Yeah, and that is Tanya down. So, Mac, how did you get on?
Yeah, so coming into this one, I lead with the Electivire. Obviously, they lead with the Floatzel, so I hit a Thunder Punch, which gets down to about 25% HP, and they use Bulk Up. I go for another Thunder Punch here. They do get a Waterfall off first, which luckily I tank and down about 30 HP. but the second Thunder Punch is enough to get Floatzel down. And then coming in next is Dragonite, so I swap into Greninja and use that Ice Beam, which is obviously super effective. Gets it down just below 25% health, and they get off a Dragon Claw here, which hits a crit and takes Greninja down. So I bring in Gardevoir and go for an Ice Punch, which then does get Dragonite out of the way. Rotom C is in next, so I bring in, for the first time I think now, Arcanine, go for that Fire Fang, which all of these monsters just stand on about 25% health. They go for a substitute, but it's too weak. So I hit another Fire Fang, which gets Rotom C out of the way. Infernape is in next, which annoyingly Greninja is my sort of best counter for this, but has already been taken down. So I swap into Gardevoir again, hit a Psychic. They go for a Flamethrower, which does about 50 HP, but Psychic is just about enough to take it down in one shot. Alakazam is in next, so I go back to Arcanine as I've got a Dark type move on there. Nope, chatting absolute rubbish. I don't do that. I meant to do that. So I bring in Roserade, which just gets one shot, completely pressed on the wrong mon there. They bring it, then I bring in Arcanine. They use Substitute, I use Crunch, which is enough to break the Substitute. It's super effective on it. I use Crunch again, they get off a Grass Knot, which does absolutely 0 damage, and then the Crunch finally connects to Alakazam, and that is Tanya defeated.
Nice. Tanya has been done by all of us. I'm not going to say what I want to say, but I'm glad I went first. Anyway, going first again. We're gonna get into grade now. Pause on that. Oh, what a go last. So going into grade. He sends out the Zoroark, we send out Stiffy, and we don't have one, and it uses a flamethrower on us and nearly takes out Stiffy. So we go for the Iron Head, another flamethrower, takes out Stiffy, so we are soft now. Kurama comes out, we go for the extra sensory, but it doesn't affect. Which I don't know why I done it. It hits us with a Dark Pulse, we hit it with that flamethrower, it's using a full restore, hit it with another flamethrower. We're going to hit it with another flamethrower because it actually used Grass Knot on us. So, we're going to take it down. Dark Pulse again. We're on 17. And we use another flamethrower and it takes it out. Now the Machamp comes through. Yeah, this forearm thing. So we're going to have to come out with Alduin. We fly high. It misses. And then we hit it. So, yeah, that is down. Now Aggron's out. Now, Aggron, man. What a Pokemon this is. Don Stainless. Got to give it up for Don Stainless right now. So we're going to go in for the Waterfall. It is Titan hit itself, so a big move is coming. It actually flinched with the Waterfall, so we're going to go for the Waterfall again. And it couldn't. I guess it's using like Focus Blast or something like that because it keeps tightening its focus. So it actually didn't do anything to us. So that was an easy fight against Mudlips. Now Magnezone is coming out. I'm having a guess here. I guess it didn't have Levitate. It uses Tri-Attack on us. We go for the Earthquake, and I was right. So Earthquake takes it out. Then the Super Skarmory comes out. Shout out Super Skarmory back in the day. I used to watch his Pokemon videos when I was a kid. It hits us with an Ice Beam. Well, we hit it with an Ice Beam. And then we're going to go... It goes for the Brave Bird. Now, what a move this was. So we go in for that Rock Slide. Keep trying to take it down, but it's got leftovers. Goes in for another Brave Bird, and Mudlips is down. So what we're going to do, we're going for Don Kurama, who gets hit by the spikes because I've got to lay him out. So Kurama is down. She was on red anyway. Alduin's came out. Spikes didn't hurt it because we're already like flying. So we go for the fly. Skarmory uses Roost. And I didn't realise it had Roost and leftovers. What a bloody thing. We're going for the fly. Doesn't obviously do much. Then we're going to go for the Dragon Pulse. Hits. still not very effective. Do you know what I mean? It keeps using Brave Bird on us and taking herself out. So what we're going to do now, we're going to go in for Bruce Lade. Hurt by the spikes. Leftovers for the Skarmory. We're going to go for the Zen Headbutt. Probably not effective. Nope. Nothing. So my only effective Pokemon would have been Kurama. But it goes for the Brave Bird. It takes itself out. Take Bruce Lade out. So we've both got no Mon on the field, but luckily I had Don Barry still in on the team, ready and waiting. So that was my leader Grey, or Elite Four Grey, done. Thanks to Barry just sitting in the box. And Ace, how did you get on?
Yeah, so just want to quickly say that this is not what I expected Grey to look like, to be honest, when we first heard about him being the champion. But nevertheless, let's get into Grey, the Grey Elite Four member. With the Skarmory stood there, also one of my favourite mons as well. But yeah, so Grey's going to lead with a Zoroark, and I'm going to be going in with Victini. Zoroark has that Intimidate, but it doesn't really matter because I've got a special set on Victini. But it is actually going to hit a Dark Pulse and do some big damage to Victini here, as I managed to get off a Flamethrower. I come out with Mawile, and Zoroark crits on Mawil's entry, and then goes for a Flamethrower, so Mawile didn't even get a chance to get a move off. Let's come in with Empoleon. Zoroark goes for the Grass Knot, and it's going to do not a lot at all, and we take the Zoroark out with Surf. Out comes Aggron here, and as Spook said, I wondered what was going on at this time as well, but I'm 99% sure it was trying to use Focus Punch, which didn't actually get off for the Aggron for me anyway, as we hit a few Surfs. It goes to tighten its focus one more time, and one more Surf takes out the Aggron. Machamp is switching in here, and I'm going to go in for Victini because I'm convinced I can outspeed. I hit a Will-O-Wisp to half Machamp's attack, which basically takes away everything that it has going for it. Victini does get taken out there, but I come out with Ments now, and if the burn wasn't enough, then the Intimidate is going to be. So Machamp goes down there to a Fly from Salamence, and I go to switch out, but then I remember I actually have Earthquake on my Salamence, so I hit that Earthquake, hit a crit, and it takes out Magnezone in one. It wasn't going to survive it anyway. 100 base, power, ground move, hitting for 4 times effective. It is definitely not going to live that with Salamence's high attack stat. So Skarmory comes in for the Brave Bird onto my Empoleon, and I'm just going to hit that Yawn, because I know this is going to polish the battle off, because Skarmory, as you can see now, is going to fall asleep. I hit an Ice Beam with Empoleon, which I also added before coming into these battles here. Hit one more Ice Beam and we crit, and Skarmory goes down, and that is Grey beaten. So Rushy, do you want to take us into your battle?
Yeah, let's get into it. So Grey leads with Zoroark. Obviously, I lead with Torterra. Go for an Earthquake off the rip, which does land on the Zoroark. Does about half health. The Grass Knot on the Torterra doesn't do too much. Go for another Earthquake here, which does take the Zoroark out. Torterra survives with 46 HP. So Magnezone is in next. So obviously I go for another Earthquake, but the Flash Cannon does come off and take Torterra out. So I switch into Swampert. The Swampert also has Earthquake. So I go for an Earthquake on the Swampert here. Magnezone hits the Flash Cannon again. Earthquake does come off. Takes the Magnezone out. So yeah, Magnezone is dealt with. So Machamp is in next. I am going to stay out here with my Swampert and go for another Earthquake here, which it does land. Does about half health to the Machamp, although the Machamp then hits a Drain Punch, hits the crit, takes the Swampert down and out. So I come in with Haxorus. Machamp's got himself all the way back up to nearly full HP. Obviously the Intimidate comes off. I hit the Dragon Claw, but Machamp comes with the Ice Punch and does about half HP to Haxorus. I go with the Dragon Pulse, which doesn't quite take Machamp out, and the Ice Punch then comes in. Obviously Haxorus does survive, but the full restore comes off on the Machamp. I go for another Dragon Pulse there, doesn't do much damage though, unfortunately. So another Dragon Claw takes the Machamp back down again, but Strength comes in and does take Haxorus out. So I put Raticate back in, he's back again, I go for the Endeavour, but it fails, and the Drain Punch does one-shot Raticate and actually gives Machamp some health back. So probably not the smartest play from me there, but I thought I'd see what the Raticate could do. Embor's in, I go for the Brick Break, it does hit. Go for another Brick Break here to take the Machamp out. And then Skarmory is going to be the next Pokemon in. So I start with Embor here, go for that Fire Punch on the Skarmory, takes it down to about a third HP left. The Brave Bird comes in on the Embor and takes him out, super effective, but obviously it hits the recoil on the Skarmory, so Skarmory is down to 1 HP. But I'm into just Magnezone, and obviously Magnezone can't really do too much here, other than Tri Attack, because it's a Steel type Skarmory, so the electric attacks aren't going to do anything. But I do go for the Tri Attack, doesn't do very much damage. Leftovers pop off a little bit, but I'm having a think here, and I'm just thinking Magnezone's not going to be able to take this Skarmory out, so I go for the Revival Herb on the Embor, bring Embor back in. Skarmory does set down some spikes, and I am thinking here again, so I go for a Tri Attack, but the Brave Bird comes in on the Magnezone, doesn't do very much damage, and obviously you're hitting it with the Recall, so I go for the Tri Attack again. And this is going to lead into a little bit of a repetitive part of the battle, because obviously the Brave Bird isn't doing much damage to the Magnezone, and it's hitting itself every time on the Tri Attack. I'm just thinking, like, I don't want to bring the Embor in here because it's probably going to get one shot by the Brave Bird again, so I'm just tanking all these Brave Birds and going back in with the Tri Attacks on the Magnezone, hoping that eventually this will take the Skarmory down. Obviously the Skarmory with the Leftovers as well makes this a little bit more tricky, but I'm just going to keep going for it. Tri Attack again here on the Magnezone. Skarmory is getting low, sort of about a third of its health left. The Brave Bird comes in again on the Magnezone, doesn't do too much damage, hits with the Recoil, go for the Tri Attack again, and Skarmory is back down into the red. Leftovers pops again, but Elite 4 grade does withdraw the Skarmory and brings in the Aggron. So the Tri Attack does hit the Aggron, but for very, very minimal damage, and the Leftovers basically put it back up to full HP. So I'm going into my bag, I'm going to go in here and revive the Swampert. So Swampert is revived, the Aggron is tightening its focus and goes for the Focus Punch on the Magnezone, takes down the Magnezone there. So Swampert comes in, it's hurt by the spikes, obviously the Leftovers pop on the Aggron, so Aggron's back up to full health. It's tightening its focus again, Swampert goes for the Earthquake, takes the Aggron down, but it endures the hit, but it lost its focus and couldn't move on the Aggron there. The Earthquake comes in, takes out the Aggron finally, and Skarmory is back in. Obviously Skarmory is very low, I stay in with the Swampert here, and go for the Earthquake, but the Skarmory uses Brave Bird, and obviously the Earthquake doesn't affect the Skarmory, so that was a bit of a misinput there. Come for the Surf, but the Brave Bird comes in, takes the Swampert out because it hits a crit, but the Recoil does take out the Skarmory, and that is Leader Grade down. So Mac, how did you get on?
Yeah, so they're going to lead with Zoroark, and again Electivire is going to be the lead for me here. They get a Dark Pulse off, I go for the Low Kick. We're both down to sort of about half health, so I'm going to stick it out here, go for another Low Kick, and luckily I just about tanked the second Dark Pulse, and I've got 3 HP, and then my second Low Kick does take the Zoroark out. Skarmory comes in next, and I don't switch out, I'm just looking to get a little bit of chip damage and sort of accept the fact that Electivire is gonna be out of the fight for the rest of this one. So I get a Thunderbolt off, which gets it down itself to about 3 HP. They come in with the Brave Bird, which isn't very effective, but with only 3 HP left is enough. But the recoil there somehow doesn't take it out, which I kind of thought it would. They use their leftovers. The Arcanine comes in. I go for a Fire Fang, thinking that'll be Skarmory out of the way, not before they can get a full restore off. But then the Fire Fang does hit, gets a crit, is super effective, and Skarmory is down. Machamp is in next, so I bring in Gardevoir, hit it with a Psychic, which is enough to one-shot the Machamp. Magnezone's coming in next, so I'm going to swap to Garchomp, as I have got Dig on that, which is obviously effective. They go for the Flash Cannon, which obviously misses. Dig hits and one-shot the Magnezone. Aggron is in last. I'm going to keep Garchomp out, go for another Dig. They use Substitute. The Dig hits and breaks a Substitute. They go for an Iron Head, which does a good little bit of damage to me there. I go for another Dig. They go for the Iron Head, which of course misses as I've used Dig. And then the Dig comes up, hits the Aggron finally, and that is Grey out of the way, moving on to the champion.
So this one is a bit of a funny one. I'm not going to play the whole video because it would have been a long video, but this one was where I don't even know, boys. I don't even know how this even happened. Do you know what I mean? I honestly, I don't know how this happened. So I guess I can give I've got a clip of the video. It's like a little 1-minute clip, but we was doing the gym, doing the champion. Sick team, what he had, by the way, proper sick team. That Darkrai was tanky, but I can't even say that was his. Even though that was his ace. For me, he had an Umbreon in this, right? And that Umbreon had to be his ace. That Umbreon with that curse ability was crazy. So I'll show you the little clip at the moment, so then you lot can understand what happened. Let's just say I think cheating caught up to me here, and that's all I can say. So let's go into the champ. Morvile with the Morvile. It's using Sword Stance. We're going for the Earthquake because I think we got off a lot of rock polishers at this time. Used to play rough on us, and it's not really effective against Don Stiffy. We hit the Earthquake, and now we are going to. The Houndoom comes out, so we're going to switch over to Mudlips now. And so the Houndoom comes out. We switch over to Mudlips. We use It uses Nasty Plot on us, and then for some reason it says that we've captured the Morvile, turned into a bad egg, and then we beat Blake. So we're now the champion of the T9 region. Don't know how that happened. So we was fighting Morvile. Weevil. Sorry, we was fighting the Weevil, and so we was fighting the Houndoom, and we ended up catching the Weevil. Do you know what I mean? It's so confusing. I can't make sense of it. I actually can't make sense of it. So yeah, then we registered our Pokemon and we woke up in bed again. So Ace, how did you get on with the champion?
Yeah, I remember when Cousin Spook sent that into the group chat. I was like, what? I was like, how was that even happen? That's so strange. Because then when he first wrote something about it, and I thought, I wonder if he'd tried to use a Pokeball by accident and catch it all counted for trainer Pokemon, but obviously not. But yeah, let's get into the first proper fight with Blake about now. Oh God, he's done it again, and I forgot to mute it. Bear with me, guys. I forgot to mute the video. God. That stung, but right, let's get into Blake now. Obviously, might as well have been our partner throughout the region here. We thought that we had an Naruto and Sasuke vibe, but that was pretty short-lived. So Blake's going to lead with Spooks' Weavile, and we're going to hit that Will-O-Wisp straight away. but Weavile does get the knockoff off, and it does a fair bit of damage there, but one flamethrower is going to take out the Weavile. Here comes Morwile hitting the Intimidate on me as it comes out onto Victini, but once again we hit that Will-O-Wisp and get the burn off. They go for a Swords Dance, so I'm pretty sure that actually cancels it out, but Morwile goes down to one flamethrower. Here comes the Spooks Crow, and once again, baby, we're going to hit that burn. Get very lucky, but unfortunately Honchkrow has a berry. I can't remember, is it a Lum Berry? I'm not too sure, but yeah, the burn is negated there, so that plan didn't go too well. But let's bring out Morwile and hit that Intimidate. Honchkrow goes for a Heat Wave, which takes Morwile all the way down into the red, and it goes for another one, but luckily it misses, so my +2 Swords Dance boosted Rock Slide can take out the Honchkrow. So we are now going to be switching into Mence, which comes out as the Houndoom comes out, and we're going to hit an Intimidate on that, of course. Houndoom goes for the Nasty Plot, so it's +2 special attack, but that doesn't matter because Mence is going to hit that Earthquake. Really, really great pickup that in Victory Road, as we mentioned earlier. It got me out of a few tight situations, as you guys saw earlier, but with that massive attack stat from Salamence, yeah, it's going to do bits. Blake comes out with that Darkrai, and we're going to switch into Morwile, purely just because I know it's going to go down. I tried to go for a player off, but Morwile does get taken out. And I think, right, it is time for me to go into my favourite Mon versus Blake's favourite Mon. So Scolipede comes out and hits the Swords Dance, and that Dark Pulse, baby, that done a lot of damage, but I'm going to hit one X-Scissor is going to take out the mythical Darkrai. Umbreon comes out last, and I'm already at +2 speed from my ability and +2 attack, so one X-Scissor takes out the Umbreon, and that is Blake taken out and us crowned. So, Rushy, do you want to take us into your battle?
Yeah, let's get into it. So Blake leads with the Weavile, I lead with Emboar. The Weavile uses Aerial Ace there, does a lot of damage to the Emboar, but I go for the Flamethrower and take the Weavile out there in one hit. So Emboar is down quite low, but Honchkrow, aka Spooks Crow, is coming in next. So I'm switching out. I'm going to bring in Haxorus. So Haxorus comes in, Honchkrow comes down, and the Intimidate obviously hits the Honchkrow there. Dragon Claw on the Honchkrow, and it takes him down to very low, but the Brave Bird does come in, hits the Honchkrow with the recall, so I go for a Dragon Pulse here, and do take out the Honchkrow there after the crit hit. So Haxorus is going to stay in here as Darkrai comes out, and now this Darkrai is scary. It is very, very scary. Hits the Ice Beam straight up on the Haxorus there, takes him down from half HP, so not good look there from the Haxorus. So I bring in the Magnezone, I go for the Signal Beam. The Dark Pulse comes off first there, and that does so much damage, but the Signal Beam does hit. This Darkrai has leftovers as well, which is not nice. Dark Pulse again on the Magnezone, and Magnezone is down. So I'm going to throw out the Emboar here, and you'll see why in a second. So the leftovers popping off in the background. I take a look at my Pokemon, and I'm thinking the only way I'm going to do this is with that Magnezone. So going into my bag, and I'm looking for a Revival Herb, and I get the Revival Herb off from the Magnezone there. Sludge Bomb comes in on the Emboar and takes the Emboar out. So back in with Magnezone. The leftovers still chipping away there at the Darkrai. Signal Beam again, Dark Pulse first though. Magnezone's down to half HP again, but the Signal Beam does go off, and the leftovers are going to keep popping away. I go for another Signal Beam, I think here, but it does. The Darkrai does use a full restore. Signal Beam comes off, takes the Darkrai back down to half health, into the yellow, but goes back into the green with the leftovers. Dark Pulse again takes the Magnezone out. And yeah, this Darkrai really is a beast. So Torterra comes in, and I go for an Earthquake. The Ice Beam, however, comes in, takes the Torterra down in one hit. So it's really not looking good. Swampert comes in, down to just Swampert and Raticate left. So it's not an ideal situation. Dark Pulse comes off. does half health, but the Earthquake does hit, takes the Darkrai down to about a third of its health left. Dark Pulse comes in again, takes Swampert down to 3 HP, and the Earthquake does hit and does take Darkrai down there. Thankfully, that Darkrai was causing me some real issues. So, Mawil's in next. Obviously, I've got a Swampert on 86 HP and a Raticate that's left. So, I'll bring Raticate in. They bring out their Mawile. Obviously, the Intimidate hits, but this Raticate is going to just do its job that it has been doing for the whole game. And I'm going to just use it to try and get some Pokemon back in. So, I'll go for the Revival Herb here. First of all, on the Emboar. So, Emboar's back in. Mawile uses Play Rough, and the Raticate's down to about half HP. So, I'll go for another Revival Herb there. And I go, and no, I don't. I think I'm going to use the potion actually. Full Restore onto the Swampert to get him back up. So yeah, Swampert and Emboar are still alive. The Iron Head comes in, takes the Raticate out. Raticate's been my buddy this whole time. He's served me well, but that will be the last time we see him. The Surf comes off on the Mawile. Mawile goes for a Swords Dance, and obviously that's got the leftovers as well. So I'm thinking, what can I do here? Earthquake from the Swampert takes the Mawile out, and it's coming down towards the end of the battle here. So Blake is sending in the Umbreon, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to send in my Emboar. So Emboar's in, Umbreon comes out, go for the Brick Break on the Umbreon, and that takes him down to about half HP. The Umbreon goes for a Curse, so the speed falls, but the attack and defense raise, but it's not going to mean too much here. The Brick Break comes off again, takes down the Umbreon there, and this is it. Houndoom's in. I am going to switch. I'm not going to stay in with my Emboar. Sludge Bomb comes off on the Emboar. Brick Break on the Houndoom. Takes the Houndoom out. That is Blake down and out. I am the champion of the Tunod region. Let's see how Mac is going to get to that status. Mac, how do you get on?
I did not have fun with this one. I did not have fun with this one. That Umbreon, his name was Dirt in my house. Like, I was not impressed with it. It was stressing me out. I wish my game would have broken. I'd have just walked through this as well, because that is stress, boy. But
Yeah, that
I was going
Umbreon's
through
bulky,
these.
man. So
Oh, it was
bulky.
horrible. I was going through all of these, and I was
it
like,
was.
oh, I'm like a minute 30. I'm walking this. And then this one come in, and I was like, oh boy, this is not good. But
That curse,
we'll
man,
get to that.
curse.
So yeah. They lead with the Weevil, and again, it's Electivire that's gonna lead for me. I'll go for a Brick Break. So yeah, I think I taught it Brick Break instead of Low Kick here heading into this one, just because I didn't have any PP up, and I had the TM. I just needed that fighting move for the Weevil, so taught it Brick Break just to get some extra PP on it. So Weevil hits a Low Kick. I go for the Brick Break, super effective, and the Weevil is out of the way. Next in is the Honchkrow, so I'm going to go and put Greninja in, hit an Ice Beam, which gets it sort of down to about 20% of its health. They come in with the Brave Bird, which does a good amount of damage to me as well. I'll go for another Ice Beam, but not before they get off the full restore. We're sort of back to square one again here. I hit another Ice Beam, and that is Honchkrow out of the way. The Mawile is in next. And I'm going to bring in Garchomp and hit the Mawile with a Flamethrower, which does about 40% health to it. And they go for a Play Rough there, which thankfully does miss. I'll go for another Flamethrower, which leaves it on all of 2% health. They go for Play Rough, which does hit this time, obviously super effective, gets me down to about half health. I'll go for another Flamethrower. They get the full restore off again, so I'll go for another Flamethrower, which is super effective. Play Rough misses again for them, so I use the fourth and final Flamethrower, which gets that Mon out of the way. So the Darkrai's in next, so I'm going to swap out to Greninja. Oh no, I think about it, but I don't. So Darkrai comes in, which I think I definitely meant to switch out there. Don't know why I didn't. They hit a Dark Pulse, which Garchomp is now out of the way. Electivire is going to come back in here, which again just refuses to go down to a Dark Pulse and survives on 5 HP again. I hit a Brick Break, which one-shots the Dark Bright. So I'm a minute 40 into this battle here, and it's 4.5 minutes in total, and they've got one mon left. And it is Umbreon. So I'm going to bring out Gardevoir here. And I start off, and there's going to be a lot of these here. Clip it, do whatever you want. But the Draining Kiss hits Umbreon, does a little bit of damage. I've not really got many super effective moves for this here. I'm really thinking at this point I shouldn't have betrayed Lucario because he's quite a good matchup for this, but he's in that box, baby. So they go for the Curse. I go for a Draining Kiss. Gets it quite weak. I'm thinking, oh, this isn't looking too bad. They go for another Curse. What do? I'll go for a Draining Kiss. They're on 1 HP. They hit a Moonlight. I hit a Draining Kiss. They go for a Moonlight. I hit a Draining Kiss. They go for a Curse. I hit a Draining Kiss. They go for a Moonlight. I go for a Draining Kiss. You'd never guess what. They go for a Moonlight. So what do? I go for a Draining Kiss. They go for a Curse. I'll go for a Draining Kiss. £5 to anybody that can guess. Oh look, they go for a Moonlight. I go for another Draining Kiss. They go for a Curse. So what do? Another Draining Kiss. Then they get off the Sucker Punch, which leaves me on 24 HP. So I think, I've got this far. I'll hit him with a Draining Kiss, which is super effective, and the Umbreon is out of the way. And that wasn't even the last mon. I was chatting. It just felt like that took about 3 minutes to beat. But I think I used all 15 PP on my Draining Kiss, just to get that one mon out of the way. So the Houndoom comes in last. I swap to Greninja, use a Surf, which gets it right down into the red. They hit a Sludge Bomb, and Greninja has fainted. So I bring in Arcanine just to get it done. It's one of my last mons left on good health. I go for a Rock Smash, which is super effective, but they get a full restore off. So they're at about 60% HP. They use a nasty plot. I use another Rock Smash, which gets them back down into the red. Then they use a full restore. I go for a Rock Smash. They go for a Dark Pulse, which puts me down to 38 HP. I'm just sending it at this point, so not worrying about healer or anything. I'll go for another Rock Smash, which gets them back down right into the red. And then I go for Max Revive there and use it on the Greninja. They hit a Dark Pulse, and my Arcanine faints. Greninja comes in, uses Surf, and Houndoom is done. I am also the champion of the region, and that fight was not fun. That Umbreon was not good for me.
That might be the fight of the series, to be fair. Just the endless draining kiss.
I swear. I thought Moonlight only had 5 PP, but obviously not. That was way more than 5, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Wow, boys, we've done it. We're the champion of another region.
Yeah.
As we mentioned before,
we're collecting them like the Infinity
yeah,
Stones,
trust
aren't
me,
we,
we've got that
championship titles.
We are gonna. I mean, are we gonna do the post game, boys?
I think personally, I think we should. The story does continue on, so we just have to see what happens in that story.
So we are gonna be doing the post game. Even if Mac didn't want to, it's 3 versus 1, isn't it? So we're doing it. Do you know what I mean?
No. I've enjoyed this game a lot. I'm down for that. Sorry, gents.
Mate, I think if we do the post game,
right.
I reckon that's probably going to be like a. Because what is it? There's 6 gyms in the in one region. Then what's there? 4 or 5 in the other. Mate, we'll probably be looking at like a 14 episode season.
Isn't there a full?
There's champions and Elite Four as well, I think, or just maybe just Elite Four.
Isn't there a full like 8 gyms champion Elite Four? Let me Sorry, boys. Let me search this up.
No, do it.
Somebody talk about that.
Well, I was going through the walkthrough for this as well. I did do a little bit of research coming into this just to make sure I had some team coverage there. Um, and the walkthrough was saying that I think you can re-challenge at some point later in the game the same Elite Four as well, and all their mons are like level. I think they start. The first trainer of the Elite Four would be level 77, and then you fight all the way back up and actually become the champion of the Toon region again at the very end of the game.
Mm.
So I think you can actually redo this Elite Four at the very, very end of the game as well.
Yeah. Which
that level 100 Darkrai and level 100 Umbreon would be disgusting.
God,
by the way,
that'd be grim.
I
think absolutely disgusting.
But I think what we should do, if everyone's happy, is like each region we go to, we should do like a new team.
Yeah, I'm down for that. That could be pretty cool.
I think a new
well,
team
something
would be nice.
It's something we discussed, weren't it? And we also, because I was to break the fourth wall, me and Mac went out for some lunch yesterday, and I was explaining, what we were doing, and Ace came up with a pretty cool idea, which I think will probably, I won't spoil it here. We'll wait till the next episode to go with that, but we've got some cool ideas for how we're going to restart our teams, so keep an eye out for that as well. But yeah, Ace, have you found out some information for us?
So I've got it up here. So we have, Johto is, it is fully, it's gyms 1 to 8, Elite Four and Champion, and I'm clicking on this walkthrough here, and I'm actually reading through, and there's a few new places, I think, like something like Cliff Edge Cave. Was that in Heart Gold Soul Silver? I don't even know if that was. What we got on the second part? We've got Bamboo Forest, Whitewood City, the Church of Alpha. I mean, they weren't in Johto before. And then we've also got here, there is another region afterwards called Rancor, and that has got 4 gyms and a champion. So, oh god, I better not spoil it too much because I just saw a little spoiler.
So what are we looking at? Like a 16 episode, 15, 16?
So another 8 episodes.
Yeah, so this will officially be the longest series on the Hive channel. We know what we're playing next, but we might as well wait until the end of Glazed to announce it. Because this could, with our new 2-week format, I mean, so what did we say? Did we just say 16 episodes?
Like 15.
It's another 8 after this. So it's like 13 episodes in total.
So another 8 after this would mean that this series will be going on for another 4 months.
Yeah, boy.
Because it's every 2 weeks. So this series is going to take us well into towards the back end of the year.
This is a fat series.
Yeah, we're here for it. Like we all said at the start, I feel like what will be due, and just to break the fourth wall, so we actually still record these every week, but we put them out every 2 weeks, just so we've got a little bit of leeway if anyone needs to do stuff and can't make it. But I think once we've done this, we might as well do a full sofa session video just reviewing Glazed, because this game is huge. I don't know how much time it's gonna take us doing it. Obviously, we'll find out when we start getting ready for gyms 1 and 2 in Johto. But yeah, we'll just have to see, man. Do you know what I mean? But yeah, I definitely think it's the right way to go. It's been all our favourite game so far. So, because Spooks, you were watching a little walkthrough about it as well, like actually watching one, weren't you?
Yeah, I was watching. Obviously, shout out Purple Rodri. So yeah, I was watching Don, and he was playing it, and he put that pesky little poisonous yellow mouse on his team after, and I think even like the trainer battles, it's like it is like after game. So as soon as you get to like, is it New Bark Town or something like that, the first town where you get into that region and stuff. So I think even the trainers are like level like 60 or something like that. Do you know what I mean? So it will be, hopefully don't get any more bad eggs, but we will need to be doing some training in the background. But I mean, gyms are pretty tanky as well. So it is just like any post game, really, where you think that you'd be battling trainers. They are going to be pretty high leveled. I'm pretty sure that you can go see Don Red in this game as well. if I'm correct to say.
Oh,
So yeah, I'm pretty sure you can go to Mount Silver and challenge Red, or he's at a completely different place now. I'm not too sure, but I think I know this could be misinformation, but I'm pretty sure last time I read the description, Red is in the game. So yeah, that would be pretty awesome to see Red in the game with that level 100 Pikachu. He might even have that pesky little rat on his team.
That's it.
And he might leave us and go, right, you're the trainer I was looking for. Now he knows he might be able to beat us, so he'd join the dark side.
That'd be sick if that happened, to be fair.
Yeah.
But yeah, so should we sort of try close out the episode here? Obviously, we all know what's just happened there. So I'm going to say my closing remarks. So yeah, thank you so much for watching episode 5 of Pokemon Glazed. Expect episode 6, which is never happened before, bar the special episode for Lazarus. But yeah, expect to see episode 6 in 2 weeks' time from when you're watching this. We might, I don't know, maybe we might change how things are going to go. I don't know, but if you look out for episode 6 in 2 weeks' time, obviously we're recording this on the 11th of May, but I think this actually goes out on the 31st, which is so strange, but we're ahead, baby. We're getting these episodes recorded. Speaking of episodes, by now you would have seen a couple of episodes of my solo series, what I've been doing, Pokemon Heart and Soul, Randomizer Nuzlocke. So make sure you guys go show love to that. It's my first walkthrough, my first time doing something completely by myself. I've been thoroughly enjoying it so far, but yeah, something a little bit different. It's not cut up, it's not edited, it's just a raw playthrough. But yeah, that's enough from me anyway. Once again, just rambling on. You can always guarantee three things in life: death, taxes, and Ace rambling at the end of a Pokemon Hive episode. But yeah, Rushy, I'll pass it over to you, mate.
Yeah, well, I was gonna have my little soppy outro that we were gonna do, because obviously this might have been the end of the series. But what I will do is I'll just say, up to this, we'll call it the midpoint. It's been a great series already so far, and I'm looking forward to carrying this one on, because Glaze has been an absolute pleasure to play. Yeah, there's lots of different things going on behind the scenes, I think, here at the Hive. We've got loads of different ideas popping out, but give us some ideas. What would you guys like to see? Obviously, we're moving to that 2-weekly schedule, but that doesn't mean that there's not other things that we could do. So try and give us an idea of what things you'd be looking out for to see from us guys, and we'll see if we can make it happen. And unfortunately, we have lost Matt here at the end of the episode. Yeah. He's had to quickly dart off as he is working away. But I'll leave you guys with this. You know, wherever you're watching, you know, whether you're in the van, you know, in the car, you know, you might be laying in bed or you might be laying in the bath.
There we are.
Hope you enjoyed. And Spooks, finish it off.
Yeah, so yeah, like Rushy said, basically we are at that midpoint. So, you know, there's going to be loads of content coming out. You'll see Ace's solo series is coming out, which is a nice way of taking that 2-week break, but also still having something else to watch, something frequent from us. And even for a viewer myself, I'm really enjoying it, just to take a step back and looking at what games can be. And it seems like a pretty decent game, the Heart and Soul. So yeah, obviously it's all still posted on the Hive and everything, so just go lock in with that, lock in with Discord, chuck us those questions in the Discord. That would be lovely to see some people get in there. All links are below, and I just want to take this time to say that, you know, we actually got sponsored the other day, so we have got Dubby on the line now. And so all of our links to them, you get 10% off if you put on our links. So yeah, you can go check themselves out. You will be seeing a video, us from them and bigging them up and everything. Do you know what I mean? As we are, but we're just waiting on the products because they do come from America. So there's a bit of time waiting, but they are an awesome company. If you like anime, they've linked up with a lot of animes, Solo Leveling, Chainsaw Man, and is it Ferrin or something like that? So
Free
free
Run,
run. I haven't got to watch it yet, but I know it's in one of my top rated must watch on Crunchyroll. So, as I always say, if you're watching this or listening on YouTube or Spotify, go give it a like, go give it a follow. If you don't have them, ask your mum, ask your sister, ask your dad, ask your brother. And if you don't have any of those people in your lives, you just come and ask us, and we will sort you out. So that is episode The Hive. Well, that might as not say we're done, because we're not done. See you all soon. Bye-bye.